I'm not exaggerating when I say this is the most quietly ambitious character arc in the entirety of Adventure Time. A character so minor that he barely has a wiki entry, but ends up connected to the cosmic machinery that holds Adventure Time's universe together. And that character is Mr. Fox. Let me walk you through this because it's genuinely insane. In the episode storytelling from season 2, Mr. Fox is actually just a background character. Like, he's kind of the character who only exists so that the forest feels populated in this episode. He gets maybe a minute of screen time total. Finn bullies him into kissing a character named Boobafina, and then we find out that Mr. Fox actually loved Boobafina, and Finn just accidentally ruined his one shot with her because the kiss wasn't natural. Kind of a messed up episode if you think about it, but Mr. Fox just has to accept it. And don't get me wrong, he's pretty sad about it, but he wanders off. Now, this is our very first introduction of Mr. Fox. 11 years later, and this Fox kills the god of death and takes his place. Now, that sounds insane, and because it is, but to fully set this up, we need to go through every single one of his appearances in order. Because when you see them back to back, the shape of it is kind of crazy. Like I said, the show kind of treats him as a one-off gag for around a decade. By the end of Distant Lands, he is literally running the afterlife. Let's go. Okay, so you know how I mentioned in the episode's storytelling, Mr. Fox and Boobafina shared a kiss? Well, this part actually kind of matters because of how the scene plays out. It is kind of for laughs, but at the same time, at this point in Adventure Time, he's a tiny minor character, and the show kind of takes his heartbreak seriously in a way that doesn't make sense for how small of a character he is. So just remember that because it's gonna matter. Season 3, the episode Wizard Battle. Blink and you miss him, he's just in the crowd. Season 5, Jake the Dad. This is the absurdist peak. Jake drops a kid's book called The Baby Eating Fox and the Babies. Mr. Fox finds it, reads it, and becomes fully convinced that foxes are supposed to eat babies. Again, kind of messed up if you think about it, but he convinces his entire fox family of this. They mistake Jake for a baby and try to eat him, and Jake's kids show up and absolutely destroy the foxes. It's a very silly episode and I love it. There is an important detail though. This is where we find out that Mr. Fox has a family. He has a pack. Then, later in season 5, comes the episode Another 5 More Short Grabbles. And this is where I really need you to start paying attention because this is the episode that's been in my head for a couple weeks, ever since I came up with this video. So the whole episode is structured around 5 stages of grief. 1 grable per stage. Denial, anger, bargaining, depression, acceptance. You're with me so far? Mr. Fox gets the depression grable. And in this grable, he gives us a tour of his house. And it's a pretty nice house, although he's clearly alone in it. He's showing us around like a real estate agent. And then at the end, he realizes his subconscious has been drawing a treasure map without his waking self even knowing about it. 2 things here. First, Mr. Fox is the second character in all of Adventure Time whose subconscious can physically affect the real world. You know who the first one is? Jake. That is the list. Jake and Mr. Fox only. Second, the writers looked at 5 emotional states. They probably looked at their entire character roster, and when they needed someone to represent depression, they picked him. Not Marceline, not Ice King, not even Lemongrab. The throwaway character Fox from the episode's storytelling. The guy with a family and a nice house. That's who they picked. Now, season 6 rolls around. The episode Ocarina. Quick cameo, but it's worth noting. He's one of the tenants renting a room at Finn and Jake's tree fort, which kind of makes no sense because we already know he has a house. I'm guessing he probably just wanted to be around people. And then comes the episode Astral Plane, again from season 6. And this is really where the show stops being subtle about it. So a comet flies over Ooo, and it knocks Finn into his astral body while he's sleeping. Finn drifts up into the sky, and he starts phasing through houses and seeing everyone in Ooo in their most private moments. Guess whose house he goes to first? Mr. Fox's house. Finn floats through the wall, and Mr. Fox is asleep in bed, mumbling about Boobafina in his sleep. Years later, he is still dreaming about her. But it gets even worse. His astral body is sitting on the couch doing a Sudoku alone. When Finn arrives, Mr. Fox politely offers him a drink. Finn gets pulled away by the astral plane against his will, and as Finn's floating out, Mr. Fox mutters that leaving like that was sorta rude, because he was genuinely excited to have some company. Then Finn floats up into the sky and literally narrates out loud,
"That guy seemed lonely. Not a lot of other foxes up at this hour.
It's a bit ironic if you think about it, because Finn is the reason that Mr. Fox is still dreaming about Boobafina in the first place, but whatever. But the episode still goes on and shows Bounce House Princess alone in her panic room, Ice King alone at a party, Marceline alone on a mountain. Loneliness is what this episode is about, and the image the episode opens the thesis with, the very first example it shows you of what this is none other than Mr. Fox. Now, the season 6 finale, the episode The Comet. Finn ends up in space with a giant sentient purple comet. The comet offers him the chance to abandon his life and become a new kind of being, a god, if you will. To sell Finn on what he'd be giving up, the comet projects a list of everything a life is made of: love, hate, friendship, isolation, jealousy, secrets. And in that montage, for one frame, you see Mr. Fox. They put him in the montage of what life is. And then the final couple of seasons, he's kind of just around. The episodes King's Ransom, Do No Harm, Angel Face, Winter Light, where we find out the Foxes have all become ice elementals now and play in an orchestra. Skyhooks 2, Whispers. He's always kind of in frame somewhere, but never the focus. And then we have the Adventure Time finale, the episode Come Along With Me. We flash 1,000 years in the future. Shermie and Beth are exploring the ruins of Bemo's house on Mount Cragdor. She ends up picking up a skull and drops it. It's a fox skull with bags under the eye sockets. That's him. The show tells you Mr. Fox is dead in a 2-second shot and then doesn't say another word about it. Pencils down, that's it. Except Distant Lands, episode 3, Together Again. At this point in time, we're pretty far after the finale Come Along With Me. Finn is an old man who died. Jake presumably died a long time ago, and Finn has spent most of his life without his brother. And when Finn finally dies of old age, he runs into the land of the dead, as one does in the Adventure Time universe after they die. And Finn is genuinely excited for the first time in decades because he thinks he's finally going to see Jake again. And the guide waiting for him to guide him to the dead world is Mr. Fox. He's genuinely really nice and kind to Finn. He explains that Finn can take any form of any past version of himself, and he walks him through the dead worlds. Mr. Fox genuinely seems pretty happy to just be walking with someone. Okay, but here's what's really going on in this episode. Death, the one we knew from the original show, got killed. He had a kid with life. The kid is New Death, and a New Death is a whiny teenager who has been shutting down reincarnation entirely. Souls aren't being recycled anymore. The 50th Dead World, where the good souls find peace, is his final target, and Jake is there. Finn and Jake eventually reunite, and they get a weapon called the Kiss of Life from Life herself, which can actually conquer death. They storm a New Death's throne room. They strike him down. They stand over him ready to finish it, and then they realize they don't actually know how the kiss works. And that's when the episode reveals that the entire time, the Lich, the most evil being in the show, has been hiding inside New Death, puppeting him. The Lich takes over. He charges at Finn and Jake, and Finn and Jake start fighting each other because New Death warned them that whoever kills him becomes him. And they're both trying to be the one to sacrifice themselves for the other. This is when Mr. Fox runs in. The Fox from the episode storytelling. The sad guy from the Sudoku episode. He runs in, grabs the Kiss of Life, and activates it himself. He kills New Death. He destroys the Lich. He takes on the curse that Finn and Jake were about to die fighting over. And then he becomes Mr. Death. And his design, by the way, is the gentlest possible Grim Reaper. He has a fox skull instead of a horse skull. He wears a little toupee bathrobe, pink bunny slippers, Death's old hat on top. His very first act as god of the afterlife is to let every trapped soul in the worst layer of the dead worlds out into the better dead worlds. And the only soul he leaves behind is a guy named Wyatt, because let's be honest, Wyatt was pretty awful. Then Mr. Fox does another good deed and gives all the souls hypoallergenic pillows so that they can actually sleep. He then lets Finn and Jake reincarnate so that they can find each other in the next life. But here's what really destroys me about all of this. Mr. Fox's first appearance in the entire franchise is a kiss forced on him by someone who didn't want him, that made his life exponentially worse. His last appearance is a kiss he chooses to give that saves Finn and Jake and ends the suffering of every soul trapped in the underworld, you know, except for Wyatt. That is the same character. That's the same Fox. The guy crying over Boobafina in season 2 is now running the afterlife. And the thing that that's really been living rent-free in my head is that if this is what was happening to Mr. Fox the whole time, just quietly playing out in the background of episodes I wasn't paying attention to, what else is Adventure Time still hiding from me? What other characters have gone unnoticed? Well, don't you worry, because I plan on trying to find out literally everything about Adventure Time. So if you don't want to miss future deep dives like this, make sure to subscribe and like this video. Thank you all so much for watching, but as always, stay adventurous.